Hello everyone, welcome to, I believe it's episode 35 of God Worshipping Society.
I'm starting to lose track, much like real birthdays when you get to about that age. Beginning to lose track. I mean, my parents constantly say I'm a year older or a year younger than I actually am now, in my mid-20s, or getting on for late 20s.
It happens. Yeah, so we've had a 2-week hiatus, so I'm not going to do seasons with this show, but this kind of de facto is like the start of season 2, I guess.
Yeah, a whole new GWS.
Yeah, and I feel like maybe it's good now to kind of almost recap a bit, like think about what we've learned along the way, you know? Because to any new listeners who are joining, you're probably wondering, like, what is this podcast about? What is it? What is God Worshipping Society?
That's a good question. Yeah.
And we don't know, but that's what it's about. Is we're figuring it. It's a process of discovery. It's not about us giving it a meaning or constructing a meaning. It's about us uncovering a meaning that is hidden.
There is a meaning, but we don't know what it is.
Yeah, because I'm kind of like Professor Jung or Tupac. To quote Tupac, when I write rhymes, I feel his hand, talking about God's hand. I feel his hand on my brain when I write rhymes. I go blind and let the Lord do his thing. And that's really what is going on in this podcast, is it's being channeled. I'm a receptacle for something greater. And, you know, like Professor Jung, I'm very modest. So I recognize that's not because of me being an especially good person. It's just because God randomly kind of chose me.
It's God's plan.
It's God's plan, like Drake.
Exactly.
So all kinds of hip hop references today. It's that kind of vibe. It's summer. I want to be outside listening to All Eyes on Me and
smoking a fat one.
But instead I'm sweating inside podcasting.
This is what we aspire to. We have the mandate of heaven in this regard. We have the mandate of GWS, and therefore we must fulfill it. Yeah,
and I guess this is leading into what I mean. I think we figured out one thing, which is our political stance. Yeah. I think that's one of the things we kind of worked out so far.
Staunch Eurofederalism.
Yeah, well, I like to call it socialism with Holy Roman characteristics, which was the title of an earlier episode.
I like that.
So if you're new to the show, you're wondering, what is this? Is this a left-wing show or a right-wing show? It's a show. It's a Holy Roman. It's a show with a socialist show with Holy Roman characteristics. That's what it is. And I don't think I really need to go into any further detail about what that means. I think it's probably quite clear.
Pretty self-explanatory, that definition.
Yeah. So there's that. That's what we stand for, we're Euro-federalists. We believe that, and what that actually means, people think that's about like forming a big superstate in Europe. What it's actually about is every European country invading Russia, and going straight to Moscow, with lots of tanks. That's basically what that means. That's my understanding what it means anyway.
Enemy of the show, Vladimir Putin, is not to be endured.
It's like an Operation Barbarossa, but it's more socially acceptable because this time it's being done for social democracy rather than national socialism. So it's more of like a PC version of Operation Barbarossa. You know, it's like when shows or films remake an old story, but then they make it woke. You know,
they change the character's race or something to make it appeal to.
Exactly. So we could have a diverse Operation Barbarossa.
Yes, that's what Europe has been leading up to. Basically, all of European history is various forms of Barbarossa, but in more socially palatable forms. Yeah,
it would be a bit like the World at War game. You know, it's It's just a more diverse, kind of multiculturalist version of Operation Barbarossa.
World at War is leading up to Battlefield 5, which is the one where the main character was that Russian woman with a peg leg. Who was like diving around. That is what we're leading up to. World at War is far too on the nose. I mean, that was just the
war. in order to get the Russians to embrace that kind of diversity, we have to invade them and slaughter millions of them. And that's really what progressive politics is about, I think.
I agree.
So we're like straddling the borderline, we're kind of like bisexual in that sense. We can't really make our mind up. It's like a constant, like, what side are we on? We don't know. Some people call that flip-flopping. Yeah, or if we will settle down, or are we going to be able to do that?
We're enjoying it's like getting tail.
Yeah,
I think it's fair to say.
Of various kinds. Yeah.
All the tail. So we're just going to keep playing the field of politics until we decide whether we want to settle down.
Yeah. So that's what we're about. I hope that kind of... But there's so much more we have to discover about the podcast and learn about it, and learn from it and really come to just kind of appreciate it for what it is in itself.
Explore what it means to be here.
Explore the ontology of the podcast, you could say. What is it metaphysically? Like,
why is it here?
What is its teleology? What is its purpose? Get more kind of Aristotelian with it. Cleared some things up there. So if that's the kind of thing you're interested in, then you're in the right place, guys. You found it. You found the podcast for you.
You've been searching for all this time, and finally you've come across your socialist with Holy Roman characteristic, staunch Euro-federalist schizo podcast. There we go.
Yeah, diverse Operation Barbarossa. That's that's kind of the concrete purpose, anyway.
Thanks for joining us, guys. No, wait.
Yeah, but in our 2-week hiatus, lots has happened.
An awful lot has happened.
You've been traveling.
I have. I've been to Italy. I've been to East Anglia. I've been watching the football. That's pretty much it.
How was Italy?
It was interesting. I went to Florence for a conference. And I got some time to walk around the city in the day and at night. First off, it is a beautiful city. The architecture is like fantastic, undoubtedly, and it's Tuscany. The meat was very good. I had a 1.2 kilo steak one day, which was absolutely fine. But my God, is that city infested with tourists? It has lost its spirit to tourism completely. And utterly.
And you can tell how much the people who live there hate that. Like, they really don't like you. They're so rude. They don't want you there. Did you get a chance to go to the Uffizi art gallery?
No, so I didn't get to go in anywhere, but we got to walk around. So I got to see the Duomo and all the sites, the Ponte Vecchio and the Palazzo Vecchio and all the kind of classic sites. But it smells of piss. Everything is in English. Even like the tram translated into English. It just didn't feel like I was in a foreign country. When I went to Germany, they could not give less of a shit that you were English, even though they clearly all spoke English. They really were not happy to do so. And when I got home from that trip, I literally walked to Tesco and was like, good morning to everyone I saw, because I was just so happy to be back in my country where everyone speaks my language and that's what they do, I was just appreciating being back here. Italy, not the same, because no bugger spoke Italian there. Well, I mean, they obviously do speak Italian to each other, but they instantly clock that you're not Italian and will begrudgingly speak to you in English. I don't know, there's just not a lot of Italian spirit in the city. The architecture.
No, I remember going to the Uffizi, and it was just so packed, and it was just... the art was awesome, but it was so hard to see most of it. Because of just how crowded it was.
All the tourists are Chinese or American. The Chinese are more respectful, but there's a lot of them. Whereas the Americans are just obnoxious.
When I went to Lake Cuomo? No, I'm thinking of that New York politician.
Andrew Cuomo.
Andrew Cuomo. No, when I went to Lake Como, there was like an Italian-American wedding going on. And you could see, I was at this bar, and there were all these Italian Americans who'd like gone back to the fatherland or whatever. I guess it would be a motherland, actually, because they're a bit more Freudian than Germans. But you could just see the look on the waiters' faces of like sheer hatred whilst like an episode of Sopranos plays out in front of them, and they're like,
I can imagine.
Oh yeah, no, they're very annoying people. You can see why everyone in America seems to really dislike Italian Americans. And you can see why Italians seem to really dislike Italian Americans.
I was going to say, and you can see why everyone from anywhere on the planet dislikes Americans, because, you know, that one of their ancestors from 200 years ago will be Irish, and they'll be like, yeah, I'm Irish.
Yeah.
I mean, it helps the Irish.
Do you know,
out. I'm sure Dublin is bustling with American tourists, but...
There's a running thing I've seen on Reddit, which I uninstalled earlier, I will say.
That is good. I've started using Reddit a bit too much. And I've been aware of that.
Yeah, it just makes you depressed and angry at people. But there's a running thing. No, there's a running thing on like the Scottish subreddits where they talk about like, you know, Americans LARPing as Scots because they've got some Scottish ancestry or whatever.
Yeah.
And I sympathize with that, but then I also don't because these are Scottish people talking. And there's something about Scotland. I'll give you. There's a couple of examples. 2 examples that sum up. Actually, no, 3 examples. Okay. Three things that have contributed to my very negative perception of Scotland.
Yeah.
One thing is the movie Trainspotting, which is a good film.
It is.
It's a very good film. But the way they talk in that film really annoys me. They have a very pretentious way of talking. I think it's a very Edinburgh thing, where they're trying to sound like Lou Reed or something. They're like, you know, really emphasizing how like nihilistic they are, and like it's all irony drenched and everything.
That
annoys me.
Do you think they were just hamming that up to fit with the book? I find
probably
proper,
I don't know.
Classic Edinburgh accent. I'm quite fond of. Glasgow, however.
Yeah, it's not the accent. I don't care about the accent. I don't care about the accent. It's just this. Yeah, it's the way they'll like say something intellectual, but like in a way that shows that they don't believe it, or something like that. I don't know. That's one thing I dislike about Scotland.
That's reasonable.
Yeah, the another example of something I hate about Scotland is their humor is just atrocious. It's their Scottish sense of humor. What you do is you take Peppa Pig. You take an episode of Peppa Pig, and then you dub over it so that they're all speaking in a Scottish accent, and they're all swearing a lot.
I was going to say swearing a lot, yeah.
And then you're like, this is the funniest thing ever. But like, it's not even funny. It's just like, you know, hey Peppa, how the fuck are you doing? You know, and it's just like, okay, so you think that swearing is funny? And then they make a massive deal about how much they swear. They're like, oh, us Scots, we love swearing. And it's like, are you 10? How is this like...
Love a good
talking
swear.
about bad swear words. Like, come on. Some boomer level bullshit, you know? It's like George Carlin level. Like, and then there was a third thing.
Yeah.
The third thing is the way they treat themselves as victims of the British Empire rather than as primary perpetrators of the British Empire. That is very annoying. That needs to stop. They got to stop LARPing as Irish people or Indians or West Indians or whoever actually was, you know, mistreated by the British. They are the British. They're the same thing. Like
really quite fundamentally. Them and the Welsh as well.
Yeah. We had like, you know, who was Prime Minister when the British Empire was at its biggest? A Welshman. DLG. Yeah. So, yeah, good guy, Welsh wizard, good Prime Minister.
Welsh wizard. Is that what he's known as?
That's what they used to call him. Yeah, the Welsh wizard.
That's an excellent nickname.
He looked like a Welsh wizard as well. He's like a very archetypally Welsh wizard type guy. I like the Welsh. They love wizards and stuff and dragons. The dragon on their flag. Yeah, he won World War I for us. He was a good guy.
Yeah, big up, you know, DLG.
Big up! No, we're not doing that again.
Friend of the show, David Lloyd George. Should we talk about friend of the show, Sir Keir Starmer? Briefly.
Sure. What's going on with him now? They got rid of him, didn't they?
Yes. Yeah, I think he's officially gone tomorrow. As of the 19th of July. He is due to be replaced tomorrow, I believe. He's no longer the leader of the Labour Party, but I think he's still Prime Minister for the last few hours.
Yeah, just the last bit of power. He could really. Those last few hours, you could do a lot. You could really screw things up for the next guy.
Some shit up, yeah.
Just create the biggest deficit ever in 3 hours. Just a complete spending spree.
Take out the Westminster credit card and just go crazy with it.
yeah. It's on company.
Directly linked to the treasury. Just start spending.
Public assets.
I bought myself a couple of Eurofighters. It's like 20 million.
Well, you know what we should talk about is the late Anne Widdecombe. Rest in peace.
Yeah, that was a bit weird, wasn't it?
That was very strange. Yeah, I think they've got. Why are you laughing?
No, it's just because the way I said it. It's like.
Did you not hear about that academic? That academic who got arrested for hate speech because she celebrated Anne Widdecombe's death?
No, I didn't know about that.
Yeah. She said
Anne Widdecombe's a bit of a weird one to celebrate.
Yeah, I mean,
these people will reach for anything at this point.
Yeah. But I think they do have a suspect who they've released a photo of, and he just looks like a Redditor. Like the most Reddit-looking guy.
I think Reddit clearly is the source of society's problems.
I think it's causing psychosis.
Definitely. I mean, I've been on Reddit way too much the past couple, I don't know, like a week or something. I haven't been using it for that long, and I can already feel the influence, which is a bad sign. You know when something's like, when you're getting addicted to something and you're like, hang on, I'm already realising it, and I've had one hit of the crack pipe, and I'm like, hang on. So this is nefarious. Yeah, whereas Instagram, like, you didn't realise. I didn't realise. But Reddit...
Well, actually, I uninstalled Reddit and I installed another app called RedNote. So,
RedNote?
That's...
RedNote?
Yeah.
What's RedNote?
RedNote. Let me find out what its actual name is. One sec. Because it's got two
Is it the Chinese
names.
one?
Of course it's the Chinese one.
Yes.
Zhao
Hongshi.
Sure, I don't know how you pronounce this stuff, but
yeah.
It's great. I looked up Xi Jinping in the search bar and nothing came up.
Really?
Yeah, it was just completely blank. You just can't. There's just no content for Xi Jinping.
Oh yeah, content criticizing the CCP or Xi Jinping is completely forbidden.
I mean, amazing. Imagine living in a society like that. You wouldn't have to hear about politics. Maybe that's why they're happy in China. I feel like that's why they're doing so well.
It looks like exactly like TikTok or something.
Yeah, but it's way better.
This is the example image on Wikipedia for it. There you go. I've sent that over. Certainly the image in the top right. I don't even know how to describe that. It's hashtag LeBron. And it's an awful AI image of what looks like a white Down syndrome man.
Playing basketball for the Lakers.
Playing basketball, yeah.
So that's what Wikipedia has to show about. I mean, that picture's sick. I think that's awesome.
I feel as though that probably does sum it up quite well.
Yeah, that's the kind of content you want, you know? Something joyful. Not Redditors arguing with each other over whether Anne Widdecombe should have been brutally murdered in her own home or not. You know?
Yeah, I doubt there's much of that going on Zhao shit.
It must be amazing in China. There's no left wing or right wing. There's just one party. You don't have to bother like arguing with anyone about politics because it's just like, oh, those guys, they'll sort it out, you know. And they probably won't even tell us what they're doing. Yeah, it's fine.
It's
don't have to think about it.
And e-commerce platform. So you're
just scrolling
through like AI generated shit, and then it just brings up some Temu link.
Well, my algorithm is just showing me like historical stuff about the Chinese Civil War mostly. It's just it's like edits of it's like Mao Zedong edits where they like make him look really cool, and it's just stuff like that. But it's mostly girls talking about ways to make your skin lighter. That's
apparently
like the main.
It is 70% female in the demographics. Yeah.
And all they talk about is like how to be as skinny as possible and as pale as possible. Which for me, that's my own goals. You know, I'm trying to. You know, I'm not saying I don't particularly care what anyone else looks like, but for myself, I'm willing to impose the female Chinese beauty standard. You know, if that's what it takes, I'll bind my feet. Sign me up. I don't care. You know, ship me over there. I've always said my life dream is to move to Shenzhen and work in a vape factory. I think that would just, you know,
That doesn't sound particularly. That doesn't sound great.
That sounds amazing.
Vape factory.
No Redditors, because Reddit is illegal.
I'm a product
that's
tester
probably
for a vape factory in Shenzhen.
I'd be dead in like a year.
yeah, definitely. I test this one out. It's 100 milligrams per pound.
Yeah, my 90 milligram Beijing vape.
Yeah, this is good.
So we have should we have poetry? Should we have verses with Athelfeather?
Yeah,
I have to say it in a soft voice. All right.
Yeah, this is our ASMR segment.
Yes.
Verses with Athelfeather.
So, this is a poem I called "The Stool,"
okay.
And it's about just to give you an idea. It's about the mental prison of trauma. Okay. So it's quite serious.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. I won't laugh.
All right, here we go. Molested Michael, how I pity thee.
For God's sake. Okay, let's try that one again.
Okay. This is a coping mechanism, We laugh because,
to get over it.
Molested Michael, how I pity thee. His greatest fear, to use the lavatory. For as a child, it was in such a place. Not quite molested Michael was debased. For years, the public toilet he did scorn, a countless quantity of diapers worn. Continuous constipation plagued our man, till finally our friend contrived a plan. At work, he would desensitize himself, by making sure that there was no one else. So shitteth he in public and alone, no one to hear the splashes or the groans. This practice Michael mastered soon enough. The final challenge, though, was far more tough. From now, no more he'd shit in solitude, to spite his trembling, trauma-ridden mood. Molested Michael entered the men's room, oppressed with dread, as if it were his tomb. In red, demonic letters spell, in use. In Michael's mind flickered flashbacks of abuse. So Michael sat inside the second stool, guarded by the cubicle's flimsy wall. To swiftly shit in silence was his goal, to be in minutes grasping toilet roll. Thus Michael went to work so modestly, thus striving for his goal in secrecy. But 'twas in vain, some noises did escape, some things are unavoidable mid-gape. Our Michael wondered at the other man, he puzzled all the while to understand how one could be so silent in the stool, despite the gaps between the floor and the wall. In any case, our friend was done in time, and rushed to leave this other man behind. Now back to work, with pride at last he beamed. 'Twas not at all as bad as it had seemed. Come 5 o'clock, he rose up from his desk. Of all his days, it seemed that this was the best. Then paramedics burst into the room, with police in tow, a sign of earthly doom. What happened? Screamed our Michael, as he saw the group make haste towards the bathroom door. One medic spoke, a man hath died in here. It seems his spirit left him through his rear. And so it is, thought Michael, that he will be traumatized, entrapped, tormented still, for every day to come, at least until our friend by man or nature hath been killed.
Wow. That was beautiful. A good rhyme about overcoming trauma.
Well, he doesn't overcome it in the end. That's the final stanza. Yeah. He thought he did, but then he realizes it's kind of like the ending of Twin Peaks.
Yes.
Fire Walk with Me. He realizes, I'm never getting out of this. Or not Fire Walk with Me. It's like the end of the third season of Twin Peaks, where it's just Laura Palmer screaming. Sorry for spoiling that. It's not much of a spoiler, really, but it never ends. Once it's done, bam. That's never getting over that. So yeah, that's kind of
Lynchian poem about shitting. That was nice.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, life is only meaningful if you're trying to craft beautiful things, and I think I've largely achieved that. With that poem. So
entirely,
I can say I have a meaningful life.
Because of that. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
and
because life's not about being happy. Yeah, which is a great idea. It's probably the best idea I've ever had, is to put myself out there publicly, mocking incredibly serious issues in poems, in Chaucerian style poems, in rhyming couplet. It's not even modern free verse that you get taught to do at university. It's it's childish. Yeah, it's like medieval
nursery rhyme about a guy who can't get over his fear of the toilet.
Yes. So thank you very much for listening to Verses with Athelfeather. Oh yeah.
So I don't know what we want to talk about next. I mean, the football. Have you been given a shit about football? No,
I was giving a shit because when I found out we lost, I was very happy. There's something about.
How could you say that?
There's something about. It's just the way it's waking up the next day, going outside, and just seeing how depressed people are, and just thinking, if you hadn't bought into this hard, then this wouldn't upset you that much. And let's face it. This keeps happening. We haven't won this thing in a very long time. So maybe don't invest so much. The only person you should be upset at is yourself for getting so emotionally invested in this in the first place. It wasn't going to happen.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, Argentina are a bunch of scumbags, which was the upsetting thing. I mean, I only started watching it when England got through. I normally don't give a toss, but I thought, well, we've got this far in. I'll watch some other games. I don't mind football that much, but I don't care enough to watch it regularly. But yeah, England came third, so yeah, big up.
I heard that Argentina played very dirty.
Unbelievable.
And the ref was lenient with them.
They were both teams were physically fighting. It was ridiculous.
That sounds better. I prefer, that's really what football should be. If they could incorporate that physical aspect into the game, I would be willing to watch it. If physical violence was part of the sport, sign me up. I'll watch that. I'll pay hundreds of pounds to sit in a stadium and watch men fight. That's fine.
Yeah, I hear rugby might be a better sport for you in that case.
Yeah, or the best sports are, we talked about base jumping on previous episodes and stuff, those kinds of things where people actually just die, that's really, F1 racing, I mean, that is incredibly reckless. I don't know anything about cars, but I would definitely watch F1, because I know someone could get really hurt.
Yeah. See, what I want is for people to just be able to take whatever performance-enhancing drugs they like and just turn into freaks of nature and play American football or rugby and just batter each other.
And just have endless ad breaks.
Yeah. Every time someone gets hurt, you get a really nasty shot and then an ad break advertising period products.
Guns and it would be guns or healthcare. It's
and beer.
You pay this and you don't have to die. We'll get into huge amounts of debt.
Yeah, I was going to say, we'll save you, but you will owe us $80,000 for the privilege of being alive.
As is fair, per principles of Austrian economics. Yes. So I did not watch the football.
Well, sod the football then. What's next on the possible agenda? Chinese Jorking robots? Oh, what film did you watch?
I watched a relatively new film called My Friend Balthazar, I think it's called. It's like a kind of dark comedy film about about school shooting, basically.
Oh,
it was good.
Nice. Our hero Balthazar.
Our hero Balthazar, yeah. It was a very good film. I enjoyed it. I recommend it to everyone. It's riddled with the contradictions of life in 21st century America, and I thought it was very, very good, and it was actually pretty funny as well.
It's got a very positive rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
There you go, guys. There you go. So this episode sponsored by our hero Balthazar. Okay, so Chinese Jorking robots.
96 minutes long.
Yeah, no, it was a good length. Good length. Tell me about the Chinese Jorking robots. Do they have good length?
By the looks of it, yes, some of them do.
Yeah.
I mean, this is kind of old news now, but it came. I think it was about 2 weeks ago. This company in China announced their Jorko-matic 9000 series of robots. They've got like the chest size ones, which all are well endowed in the chest department. Let's just say. Which I think they're like they're not a lot of money, but then you can get the full-on ones that like walk and dance, and presumably jerk you off.
Can you bind their feet and then they can't walk? Can you do that to the robot?
I don't see why you couldn't. I think part of the creepy satisfaction is that it won't say no, presumably.
Of course. Well, obviously,
because you're basically their owner. Chinese robot. UB Tech, that's what it's called. UB Tech. Humanoid robot. Did you get to watch any of the videos or anything like that of them?
I don't remember. When did you send me this? Did you send me this?
A couple of weeks ago now. But there's one where it's dancing and doing...
oh, yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Doing ballet.
I like how they're not afraid of technology in China, because I feel like if you do anything with technology over here, people get really upset, like, immediately, you know?
Yeah.
You get, like... if it's like, if you like make AI music or whatever, people act like you're Hitler, you know? Whereas in China, they just seem to be completely indifferent to it. They just don't seem to care. Maybe I'm wrong. If you're any Chinese listeners...
I mean, I'm sure that there's a lot of people there. Some of them probably do, but I think the need for technological advancement outweighs the ethical concerns, which is why when they start genetically editing babies to become super soldiers or whatever, we're going to be in the shit.
I'm not scared of them. I'm 100% behind the People's Republic.
So am I, because we can pincer maneuver them.
Well, because they're bankrolling this podcast. People don't know this, but we are complete shills, and this whole thing is it's being paid for. You know, they bought the microphones.
Oh, is it? Yeah, of course. Yeah.
They're being cheap. They haven't given us cameras.
No, just this art.
So you have to guess what race we are.
Yeah,
you have to guess what race we belong to, based off of how we're talking. Yeah, good luck with that. You might be surprised when you find out that old Athelfeather is actually Nigerian. That would be quite a shock.
He's a brother.
Yeah, and you guys, you racists, made assumptions about
and I'm Chinese.
What people look like based on their voice. Yeah, it's the ultimate crossover. Yeah. So what else is there to talk? Well, we can have the next segment, which is a new segment.
I think we should move to the next segment. Let's hear about
this is a new segment. So the idea is, if you're a writer like I am, one thing that's really helpful is workshopping, which is where you kind of explore ideas for, you know, in my case, it could be a novel, it could be a screenplay, could be a theatrical production, could be a musical. I'm open to that, or an opera. The main idea is the premise. So I thought I'd call this segment God Workshopping Society, which is
very good.
Pretty good, yeah. Let me just find the
Hopefully the name won't be the best bit of the segment.
It might be.
The bar is set high.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a hand for our next segment, God Workshopping Society.
So here's an idea. It's called The Freezer.
Right.
Okay, and this is the basic structure of the plot. I think this would be more of a film.
Okay.
Basic idea is, so there's a guy, and he's just bought himself a brand new freezer, and it's a beautiful freezer. It's really good. It's like a smart freezer. It talks to him. Maybe it jacks him off. That's possible.
That is possible.
Throw that in there. It could be a sex scene between the man and the freezer. Maybe he's autistic and he's fucking the freezer. He's really into it. But anyway, it's a great freezer, right? It's like the platonic ideal of a freezer. And he's got a neighbor, and his neighbor gets a bit biblical here. It's very envious, very covetous man. And he hatches a plan. He decides, I've got to get this freezer. And the only thing standing in the way is my neighbor. So I'm going to have to kill him to steal his freezer.
Right.
So he does that, goes ahead, kills the guy, and then he realizes, not only have I got a freezer now, I've also got a dead body. What am I going to do with that? So he puts the body in the freezer.
Classic.
Then he realizes that he's got nowhere else to put the body, and now the freezer isn't usable because it's just full of a human body. And he gets very upset, but then he realizes, actually, this was all worth it in the end because it's such an ambiguous ending. And that's how it ends. Yeah. So he's really pleased about how ambiguous the end of the film is.
It's really meta.
Yeah, that's the end. That's how it... Because, I get the impression, based on most of the films I've seen that are recent, it's not a serious, proper, arty kind of film unless the ending is completely ambiguous and there's no way of understanding what it doesn't actually tie anything up or whatever.
Yeah, and just complete bollocks. Okay.
So that's the freezer. That's my idea for the freezer. How would you improve it? Let's workshop. What would you
I
add?
think you can get really freaky with it, and as part of the ambiguous ending, have the guy's spirit inhabit the smart freezer. Because I feel like the smart freezer aspect is lost once the body's in it.
And then the guy the murderer discovers that his neighbor was in love with him the whole time, and he keeps fucking the freezer. And then he marries the freezer. And
he starts fucking the freezer. And then it ends with his neighbor eyeing up the freezer.
Yeah.
And it's like a cyclical thing. So
he gets a new neighbor. The new
neighbor moves in and sees him in love with the freezer and thinks, I have to have that freezer. And
he just smiles, and that's the ending.
It's like a shot behind him watching the guy going to town on the freezer in the other room. He turns to look directly into the camera and it cuts.
Yeah, and then the credits play, and it's like a 90s Will Smith kind of credit theme where it's like really a rap jaunty song. It's like a really rap song that just describes the plot,
Yeah, I think that's great.
Freezers, I love them.
I want to fuck him.
Keep my food cold. I am autistic. I want to have sex with the freezer. I love inanimate objects. Yeah. Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah. So I think leaning more into the sexual aspect of the story is a good idea.
Make it more of a romance. Have the freezer be. It's almost like a love triangle. Yeah. But then as the guy then becomes part of the freezer. And I don't know, maybe that
it's kind of cyberpunk. It's like it's post-humanist.
Yeah, and a bit of perhaps unreliable narration. Is the guy actually dead in the freezer, or is he inhabiting the freezer? Because the freezer's still flirting with him, like it was with the last guy. But maybe it's got a slight malice to it, and you don't know if it's the guy's soul in the freezer, or if the freezer's actually just a psychopath freezer.
Yeah, maybe the freezer, because it's a smart freezer and it gathers data. It knows that this guy murdered this other guy, and the Chinese manufacturer of the freezer is playing mind games on him, and they're sending they're making the freezer talk to him as if it's the guy he murdered, and then what we learn is that the guy in Shanghai who's doing that is also gay, and he just wants to be a freezer getting fucked. He's got the other type of autism where you want to be the inanimate object. I think that's a possible another avenue we could maybe go down.
I think the first act should just be the original guy getting the freezer, fucking it, his neighbor watching him with that same shot where he turns and looks at the camera, and then the second act he murders him, puts him in the freezer, starts fucking the freezer, and then I don't know. There's got to be some weird twist, like the Wi-Fi goes out and it's still acting up, like it's still acting horny. Like what's going on? What? Or like he goes mad and tries to turn the power off and it's still trying to fuck him. Because that's where is he going nuts? Now that he's murdered a man and is fucking his body in a freezer.
Yeah. Is it a ghost? Yeah.
But it's actually just such advanced Chinese tech. It doesn't need... Yeah. It's battery powered or something. Crazy shit.
Yeah, it doesn't need Wi-Fi. Yeah. It runs on electricity that's transmitted through vape fumes from disposable vapes. Yeah. It's like radiation.
Yeah. That can just be a plot hole. We don't need to say how it's powered. Because there's so many ways. We just leave it.
And the guy is incredibly addicted to vaping, and it's like...
Well, everyone is in this world, because it's like 10 years in the future.
And maybe at some point, I feel like it could be relevant if at some point the guy puts the vape in his ass, because I just feel like the running theme is about technology and, like a conflict between the organic and the technological, and how the two can be unified
and
if
the
we
mixing
all develop... if we all develop that kind of autism that makes us want to have sex with inanimate objects, then we can overcome the kind of really the Hegelian contradiction between subject and object, between man and technology.
Yeah, I feel as though there's a negative connotation to this, though. Is that what we want to say?
Well, it's incredibly insulting to autistic people, for one thing.
But I mean, like, it's not a positive techno-futurism,
No.
This is a dystopia where people are fucking freezers and killing their neighbours for the chance to do so.
Well, it's also
whoa. What if, right? Okay, it ends, the new neighbour turns to the camera the same way the original one had before he killed the guy and fucked the freezer. But then, post-credit scene, a Chinese guy delivers another freezer to the new guy for free.
Oh, and then they have foursomes together.
That's ambiguous. We don't know what's happening. All we know is now they're giving away the fuckable freezers. So what's going on? Is it evil? Is it selfless? Do they just
actually,
want
what it is,
freezers?
the truth underlying the plot is that this is a way we can overcome women. Because if we all get these freezers and we all develop that kind of autism, presumably through fluoride in water or something, then we won't need wives. We'll have a home appliance that is that we're physically attracted to, and that really solves all those kinds of problems.
So is the freezer is the freezer like sexually dimorphic? Because what are the women going to do?
Oh no, they're all gay. The women don't. There are no women in the film. That's
Is it just understood that they realise that it's stupid what's going on?
They're just ignored. They're just they're not considered. Yeah, like I just don't think about them whilst I'm writing it. I just dive into this fantasy, of freezers and Chinese man and autism,
and it just takes over.
Yeah, this wonderful world that I've created in my head, and I just don't think about women whilst I'm writing it.
You sound exactly like George Lucas just before he made Star Wars. I think this is going to be huge.
Yeah, well, this is a lot better than George. This is more like Orson Welles before he made fucking Citizen Kane.
Yeah,
or whatever that Guido was who made The Godfather. That's kind of the level I'm on with this.
Yeah,
this is my magnum opus. One of my magnum opuses. Yeah, well, I think that's Magni Opi. I can't remember any Latin.
Magne Opi. All I know is that Opi is breasts in Latin, so, in Japanese. So we're on the right track.
And Oppa is Korean for something.
Yeah,
because he says that in Gangnam Style. If you remember, if you do remember that,
remember that.
That famous composition.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, back in the swinging 2010s. When was that? 2012.
Apparently, Oppa 2012. Yeah, Oppa means older brother.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
But I don't think he said that in Gangnam Style.
Older brother, Gangnam Style. Is that?
Oppa is Gangnam Style, apparently, is what it means.
Older brother is Gangnam Style.
Yeah, Oppa used by females referring to a male older brother or older male friend.
They like that stuff in Asia, don't they? They like calling people uncles and brothers, and it's like they're all one big family, one big happy family. Do they call other types of Asians that, or is it just within their own country? Because I have a sneaking suspicion that it's only within one country, based on my understanding of how incredibly violent East Asian history has been. Have you
ever read the lyrics to Gangnam Style in English?
No.
What the hell is the song about? Refrain: I am a man as warm as you during the day. A man who one-shots his coffee before it cools down. A man whose heart bursts when night comes. Such a man. Verse 2. A woman who seems calm but knows how to have fun. A woman who lets her hair down when she feels it's the right time. A woman who covers herself but is more sexy than a woman who bears it all. A woman with that kind of sense. Oppa is Gangnam Style. So there you go.
It's a lot more poetic than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
It doesn't really match up with the song. It doesn't really work with the song.
No. I have no idea what on earth he's trying to say, to be honest. So yeah.
Well, I don't either, because I don't speak fucking Korean.
No.
Yeah. But shout outs to Korea.
Shout outs to Korea. What a place.
Yeah, hopefully I love Korea because I know that one day it will become part of China. So
when they run out of people and they have to start importing the Chinese.
I don't think any of those countries are going to run out of people, man. I think that.
You don't think? I mean, Korea's on a bit of a downturn.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
There's like 2 grandchildren for every 100 grandparents in Korea right now, or something like that. It's crazy.
Is it Korea where like they're all going to end up with the same surname in like 100 years' time, and they're having to like invent new surnames because of?
I think they're going to lose like 90% of their population in like 80 years or something.
Do you know where they won't? North Korea. So who's really winning? You know, it's
Japan and South Korea. Everyone's dying, killing themselves, not having babies.
Yeah.
China and North Korea doing fine.
Yeah, there you go. So that is a brief survey of what we like to call the right side of history, and who's on it. I think it's pretty clear who is, who's going to escape the Malthusian trap. So that's something to take away with you guys. I think we can start wrapping this episode.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
God Worshipping Society Season 2, the sequel. Begins join now. Us for the ride. Yeah. It's we had 2-week hiatus. I'm back. I'm rearing to go. Slightly manic.
Here.
Yeah. I'm creative. I'm surging. Yeah. So there you go, guys. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. If you don't, your mother will die in her sleep tonight. God bless you. Amen.
Amen.